Ever wondered why your online experience seems so tailored and emotionally charged? What if I told you this isn't just coincidence, but a strategic manipulation by major tech companies? Platforms like Google, Facebook, and YouTube aren't just designed to engage you. They actively shape your opinions, influence elections, and guide public sentiment. In today's digital age, the tech giants we interact with daily, Google, Bing, Yahoo, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, are not mere tools. They are powerful influencers. Their algorithms are engineered to maximize engagement by tapping into our emotions and reinforcing our biases. The effects of these manipulations extend far beyond personal feeds, impacting public opinion and even influencing elections. Algorithms are the invisible architects of our online experiences. They decide what we see based on our interactions, creating personalized content streams. This personalization, while convenient, traps us in echo chambers where we're predominantly exposed to content that aligns with our existing beliefs. This isn't a side effect, it's the primary goal of these algorithms to keep us engaged. One key concept here is ephemeral experiences. This term refers to fleeting, highly engaging content, such as search suggestions, autocomplete suggestions, and temporary posts. Unlike traditional media, which provides more static and long-term content, ephemeral experiences are designed to capture immediate attention and elicit rapid emotional responses. For example, Google's autocomplete feature suggests popular search terms based on what users frequently search for, subtly influencing the way people think about certain topics. These ephemeral experiences not only keep users engaged, but also reinforce existing biases by continuously presenting information that aligns with their previous interactions. The bias embedded in these algorithms is both significant and measurable. Dr. Robert Epstein's research from the American Institute for Behavioral Research and Technology provides critical insights. Initially, Epstein estimated that Google's search result bias could have swayed up to 4.6 million votes during the 2020 U.S. presidential election. This estimate is based on the influence of search results on undecided voters and the observed discrepancies in how political content was presented. A more recent analysis by americasdigitalshield.com expands this estimate, suggesting that if the bias had been neutralized, up to 6 million votes could have shifted in favor of Republicans, potentially altering several key election outcomes between 2020 and 2022, including the presidential election. Epstein's research demonstrates that Google's bias can significantly shift the opinions of undecided voters. In closely contested elections, this shift can be as high as 80%, meaning that the platform's influence could sway the results of any close election Google chooses to target. The influence of tech giants extends beyond shaping public opinion. It directly affects the integrity of our democratic processes. Algorithms designed to prioritize engagement often do so at the cost of truth, amplifying misinformation and making it easier for false narratives to spread. The structure of these platforms is fundamentally linked to how information, both true and false, circulates online. A recent study led by researchers from USC found that social media platforms, rather than individual users, bear significant responsibility for the spread of misinformation. The study, which analyzed the behavior of over 2,400 Facebook users, revealed that just 15% of the most habitual news sharers were responsible for spreading 30 to 40% of fake news. This finding challenges the common belief that misinformation proliferates primarily because users lack critical thinking skills or are heavily influenced by political biases. Instead, the study highlights how the reward systems embedded in social media platforms incentivize users to habitually share content, especially sensational and eye-catching information. This habit-forming behavior is reinforced by the algorithms that prioritize engagement, leading to an environment where misinformation spreads more rapidly than it otherwise would. Wendy Wood, a USC expert on habits, emphasized that misinformation is really a function of the structure of the social media sites themselves. The research underscores that the habitual nature of sharing, fueled by platform design, doubles or even triples the amount of fake news distributed by users. The implications for democracy are profound. when platforms reward users for sharing without regard to accuracy, they inadvertently create a system where misinformation can thrive, undermining the informed discourse necessary for democratic decision-making. The study's authors suggest that meaningful change would require restructuring the online environments that currently promote and support the spread of false information. By incentivizing accuracy over popularity, social media platforms could significantly reduce the spread of misinformation and, in doing so, help preserve the integrity of democratic processes. The influence of algorithmic bias extends beyond individual preferences to broader societal and cultural levels. Echo chambers created by these platforms contribute to increased polarization and weaken public discourse. Additionally, the engagement-driven models amplify misinformation on critical issues like health and climate change, undermining public trust and spreading falsehoods. Addressing these challenges requires greater transparency from tech companies. Users should be informed about how their data is used and how algorithms shape their online experiences. Regulatory measures are needed to ensure accountability for the societal impacts of these platforms. Dr. Robert Epstein's research aims to highlight these issues and advocate for meaningful changes. Epstein's goal is not only to expose the influence of tech giants on public opinion and elections, but also to push for legislation that addresses these biases. His work underscores the need for greater accountability and regulatory oversight to prevent manipulation and ensure a fairer digital landscape. On an individual level, enhancing digital literacy is essential. Understanding algorithmic biases and seeking diverse information sources can help counteract these manipulations and promote a more balanced perspective. The power of tech giants to shape public opinion and influence elections is a significant issue of our time. As users, we must demand greater accountability from these platforms and take proactive steps to understand and mitigate their biases. By supporting initiatives aimed at reforming these practices and advocating for legislative changes, we can work towards preserving the integrity of our democratic processes and building a more informed and equitable society.